the drug. Oh, now I think I must be my user. When I was a river trotter, it came to rain and flood.
Press conference room. The newspaper journalists basically sit in the grey desks above us here, so once the match is finished they'll make their way into here and they'll wait for the managers. Now before the managers come here they will talk to the various television companies and we'll see where those interviews take place later on. Once the managers have finished their TV commitments they are brought up here with the manager of the visiting team usually being invited first. That's a courtesy because they and their team may well have some distance to travel, so we'll probably be wanting to get away from the stadium as soon as possible. So the visiting team manager will come and sit in the centre chair there. He'll then perhaps spend 10 or 15 minutes talking to the journalists. He will then be taken back to his own team dressing room. The Manchester United manager will then be brought up here, and again he will spend time talking to the journalists. After the press conference is finished and the managers have left, the journalists can go through the door at the back of the room. When they first arrive at the stadium, through there is the press lounge where they will have been given something to eat and drink. But at the left-hand end of that room, there is an area where there are some desks that the press can sit and send their reports back to their newspapers. Now, usually one day before a game, the manager does what's called a pre-match press conference. If you've ever seen any of those extracts on television, you might think that they also take place in this room because the wall behind the manager will be exactly like that. But they actually take place at our training ground, or the Aon Training Complex, to give it its full title. It's about 5 miles away from here. And it's actually where the players spend most of their time. They rarely come here to Old Trafford apart from on match days. It's also where the manager has his own office and where there is a facility for that pre-match press conference. So this room these days is only used for the after-match press conference, but it does have a lot of history to it, because between 1993 and 2002, whenever Manchester United signed a new player, they would always be brought in here at the beginning of their United careers to be unveiled in front of the press. Again, that's something that we tend to do at the training ground these days. Okay, if you'd like to follow me this way now.
Just sent from up above. I feel it coursing through my blood. Life is a dream, your life's about to make the stars come out. Drink from me, drink from me, pour on a symphony.
Who actually come in here are the 18 involved in that day's game. So the 11 who are starting the game and the 7 substitutes. And they will get changed under a Manchester United crest. So from Luke Shaw on my left, round to Anthony Martial on my right, in that section there are 18 available spaces. And the 11 who are starting the game will be the 10 on the back row, with the first one on the right hand side. So you've got the goalkeeper, defence, midfield, strikers, with substitutes either side of them. What I'm going to do is going to play a recording made in this tunnel a few months ago, just to give you an idea of what it sounds like as the players go out in front of over 75,000 supporters. So we've got the teams, we've got our captains, we've We've got the press and the TV waiting for us. This is what it sounds like.
Ladies and gentlemen, very happy here at Warm Welcome to the This is the home of the World Great Football Club. This is the home of Manchester United.
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ